Hey everyone, this is Mackie. I'm gonna start examining the examine the scriptures daily. um, with the day's text. This is what I'm gonna start doing from time to time. I'm not gonna do it every day. Just when I see some outrageous stuff on there that needs to be talked about. So, today I'm going to be reading Tuesday, May 21st, 2019. Um, uh, day's text. And it says, Jehovah is waiting patiently. Jehovah does not expect us to do something that he is not willing to do himself. He has set the prime example of being willing to wait. Okay. So, Jehovah does not expect us to do something that he is not willing to do himself. Really? Hmm. Oh, like sacrifice his son, Jesus Christ. Oh, but he really, in reality, didn't sacrifice him at all because 3 days later he got resurrected. But he expects us, he expects Jehovah's Witness parents to sacrifice their children for him in the event that if your child needed blood and you don't give it to him, your child dies and you're doing it for Jehovah. Mm-hmm. And oh, your child is not going to get resurrected in 3 days. So in reality, Jehovah didn't sacrifice anything for mankind, but we're steady trying to sacrifice everything for him. Mm-hmm. He has set the supreme example of being willing to wait. This is the most waitingest God. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Jehovah has been waiting patiently for thousands of years so that the moral issues raised in the Garden of Eden could eventually be settled beyond a doubt. Hold on a second. So it takes thousands of years for moral issues raised. What does that even mean? Moral issues raised in the Garden of Eden. It takes thousands of years for moral issues raised in the Garden of Eden to be, it says could eventually be settled beyond a doubt. Wait a second. That's not a guarantee. That's like your employer telling you you could eventually get your check. No, no. I want my check. I want that to be a great guarantee. I work hard every week so that I can get paid every week or bi-weekly or however you get paid. But this here says uh, the moral issues raised in the Garden of Eden could eventually be settled beyond a doubt. Wait a second. This is an oxymoron because it says could eventually, and then it says beyond a doubt. What the hell? What kind of sentence is this? This is confusing the hell out of me. Could somebody please explain this to me? I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Okay. Um, it says he is quote unquote. Wait a second. Hold on. Why is y'all putting this on quotes? Because if you know anything about gods, you know they have the power to do anything they want, right? If you believe in God like that. Personally, like I said, I'm agnostic. He is quote unquote waiting patiently and keeping an expectation of the time when his name will be fully sanctified. How long? It does not take no thousands of years for your name to be fully sanctified. I'm sorry. If you were a real God, I'm sorry. And all of these guys out here, if the true God really was to be made known, they would have made themselves known already, several times already. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of like that book in the Bible where there were two mothers, one real one and one fake one, and the baby was about to get killed, and the real mother screamed. That's how you know that was the real mother. That's how God needs to be. But none of these guys saying nothing. Talking about, oh, I'm the real God. Nope. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't know what point I just made, but I made it in my G funny voice. But anyway, this will result in unimaginable blessings. This will result. Hold on, because earlier you said could eventually be settled beyond, and then it says beyond a doubt. This is very confusing. This is very contradictory. How is something that could eventually beyond? How could something that's uh, I don't know, something that is beyond a doubt? It says could eventually. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm still not getting over that. Anyway, let's move on. Jesus likewise has been willing to wait. Although he passed the test of integrity here on earth and presented the value of his ransom sacrifice in 33 CE, he had to wait until 1914 before commencing his rule. Now, really? That's so you mean to tell me that Charles Taze Russell was the one that decided what year Jesus commenced his rule? Because in reality, that's who came up with this stuff. This 1914 nonsense was Charles Taze Russell. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Charles Taze Russell and his so-called workers and researchers with the whole 607 BCE bullcrap, and the Gentile times and all of that. He had to wait until 1914 before commencing his rule. Really, really. Charles Taze Russell has control over Jesus Christ commencing his rule. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. It will not be until the end of his 1,000-year reign that all his enemies will be completely destroyed. But we can be sure that the wait will be worth it. Okay. I ain't waiting up. I'm sorry. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for 27 years out of my life that I was asleep and indoctrinated Jehovah's Witness. Now, like I said, I'm physically and mentally out. So technically I've been in for 29 years. Physically. But I've been doing a lot of double life activity. Not nothing brash or harsh. I'm not committing fornication or anything like that. But, I'm celebrating birthdays. I smoke. I gamble. I celebrate holidays. I do all that now. You only live once. But, well, as far as we know. Like I said, I'm agnostic. I don't know what's in the future. Nobody really knows. But this text is just like, oh my goodness, really? Really? If you were a real God, you would have enough sense to know that it don't take all these years to solve some problems. You could have just, at the snap of a finger, fixed everything. But I'm starting to believe Jehovah loves chaos. Oh, and I think he picks I know Jesus Christ is his son, but Satan, which he also created. Okay, don't let don't let these people fool you into thinking that he didn't create Satan. He did, because he already knew how Satan was gonna be. He already knew. So he already knew if you're God, you're supposed to know the future, right? You're supposed to know everything, right? So he already knew that Satan was gonna be like this, right? I believe Satan is Jehovah's favorite child. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. You know, Satan is Jehovah's favorite child because because Satan is quote unquote the ruler of this system and things, right? He's just letting Satan have a good old time. According to this belief. Like, personally, I don't believe in the devil or God or things like that. I mean, I'm borderline. I'm pretty much borderline atheist. I keep saying agnostic, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards becoming atheist. But all of this is just a bunch of nonsense. All this 1,000-year reign stuff. All of this 1914 and all of this. Really, really. I'm sorry. Like I said, if Jehovah really wanted to solve problems, it would have been done already. And it wouldn't take 1,000 years to do it. If I was God, none of this would even be happening right now. You know what I'm saying? If I had my own religion, it would not be no shunning. You know what I'm saying? The only people that I would shun would be pedophiles. The only people that I would disfellowship or excommunicate would be pedophiles, rapists, people who are just really evil. Not you know what I'm saying? Not somebody that just wants to be free to do as they please without hurting anybody. No. I would actually shun and excommunicate really real criminals like pedophiles and rapists and people who beat on their own women and beat on their wives. You know what I'm saying? Or and abuse and molest children. Those are the people that I would disfellowship. You want to call yourself keeping the congregation clean? How about you do that instead of, disfellowshipping people for what they desire to do naturally? Like I said, as long as you're not hurting anybody. As far as whoever you want to have sex with, it doesn't matter, as long as you're not messing with a minor. Okay. But see, Watchtower will sweep that under the rug, but they'll throw everything else. They'll throw everything else to the light, to the forefront. But eventually, it's all coming out. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely, everything is coming out. We have the internet now. Okay, back in the 90s, 80s, and beforehand, it was kind of hard to see what Watchtower does behind closed doors. But now, it's getting easier and easier, and we're also exposing the governing body members too. First it was Jeffrey Jackson. He's a complete liar. He says that it would be presumptuous for them to say that this was the only true religion. Wait a second. No, he asked you. He didn't even ask his question right. He was like, do you believe you're the only true religion? He couldn't even answer it. You're supposed to say yes. Talking about, oh, it would be presumptuous. Well, then be presumptuous then. Because you teaching your witnesses that this is the only true religion, but you are a member of the governing body, and that's your answer? Really? So that's the first liar. Then we have the drunkard, Tony Morris. He's up here trying to tell people how to live, and he's an alcoholic, allegedly. Unless he's just buying $800,000-$900,000 worth of liquor just for fun and not drinking any of it. Anyway, I'm going way off on a tangent. I can go on and on and on. But yeah, this day, I'm gonna start doing more of the day's text. So I'm gonna try to stay on topic, but you know how I am. Sometimes I go off on a tangent. But thank you for listening anyway. This was not prepared. This was not rehearsed or anything. So question everything. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is Mackie J. Jones, and peace.